The time is now. It's back to the rhymes. It's like, wow, he's back to the rhymes. I'm in the booth straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent daily plant the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Okay. It's not that. It's kind of late. I'm losing a little sleep. What was I doing? I was on a date night. That's what I'll say. I was on a date night with my wife, learning how to be in a better place in life. Um, so that was good. Get home, and I got my stuff I try to do every day. So I'm working on that, and I got to do this every Sunday. And I guess this is a little later. Let's get the list out. Did I just totally lose my normal list? Guess I'll use this again. So my Reformation music video, I guess I don't have an update. We were in communication with the key person, Theon, but I don't want to, she didn't bring it up. And she's worked with my wife on some stuff, so I just kind of let that go. So, and a bit of a holding pattern, but as I go down this list, I will describe what I'm kind of focused on, which is moving forward, and it can be a placeholder for when I release that. So stay tuned. Rules of engagement, nothing to add. Man, I don't know what happened to my little cardboard. I mean, this is getting bad. I might have to rewrite this thing. Trump's gonna thump. I have nothing to share with that. So it's the YouTube channel's the big one. So let's see, Leon. We released this week, if you didn't notice, on Tuesday, it's called a 2020 story. It's asked by Lynn of Goodwill in YouTubeville. Am I saying that right, Lynn? Sorry if I'm not. I think that's right. Like if you search that, you'd find it. Anyway, she asked to hear more about how this affected his faith. This is in the comments, so it's not just a private conversation. It's out there. And I didn't respond. I figured Lynn might check this out. I should respond. Actually, I will respond in the reply because I said I'd talk to Leon. So I will share in the reply. At least I need to. The next step. So I talked to Leon at length, and he's realizing that I can't, in a short period, really answer that. So he wants to make a 3-part series out of this, which absolutely. So it's going to be, I think, very good for those who are interested to hear. I'm interested. I think it's good to have out there because Leon's experience I find to be pretty unique and completely interesting in terms of his faith, I'd say faith journey. That would be fair. I guess intersects with the events of 2020 or leading up to. I think he wants to be able to have some context there so it can at least be better understood instead of him just saying how he feels now, because if he were just to say it, it couldn't be understood because we'd have to catch up to where he is mentally and spiritually. So the plan is to have that. So on the 24th, which is not this Thursday, but next, we will do at least one. I guess we're going to go fishing later that day at Green Lake, and it sounds like it's impossible to catch any fish. I'm not any fisherman, and I've never caught a fish. And I don't think that will end, that streak of not catching fish will end on that day, but we're going to try it. Anyway, so whatever we can get done, if he wants to do both parts or just the one part. And then what my plan is to make a playlist. I don't know if I'll be able to do that successfully. I might need to ask Noah's help. I don't think it's that hard, but I did do it before. It's just my ability to recall some of that stuff is not the strongest sometimes, but I will try. But if I can't, then I'll ask Noah to help. And then I'll have that. And so that was my next plan. So I was going to start sharing what he shared on the 2020 story every day with, I do have to stretch myself because we'll just say the people I would typically share this with, and there's a few that are close that already will have seen that or heard it. So I don't want to necessarily send it to them if I know they've seen it, but but the goal with these releases is to share with 100 and see what happens. And in this case, it's going to have a good amount of content. And so I don't know. We'll see who all I share it with. And it's just an interesting challenge for myself. I'll say that. So just put myself out there like that. A couple of times when I was doing some of these other projects, I was like, no, I can't keep going. I'm not going to get to 100. But I somehow, thank God, made it. And I'm glad I did because it gives me something to just compare. Occasionally after I get to 100, I'll share it with somebody, these things with somebody who I think might enjoy it. But it just happens occasionally. Not really promoting it. So that's the plan. So to make a playlist and then I don't know if this is recording. This happens sometimes and I always hope it works. It seems like even last week this might have happened but it still was a total 30-minute show. So anyhow, hope we're all connected. Anyway, so I want all that. I don't know how long it'll take. I don't have any time limit on him. And then send it and then just see what happens with 100. Okay, so, but again, the people I would want to share that with are obviously people that know Leon and that I know. And that's usually it. Typically, I'll want to be in conversation with them ongoing with any other things I'm doing anyway. So it's a challenge, but let's just see how it goes. So stay tuned on that. Bellevue Ballers. There was a good night with the coaches, and we're just praying for our mentor Tracy, and he's battling the battle, fighting the fight, going through the chemo deal. So but he's got his full energy, and I think if anyone could, mentally strong enough to take it on, it's him. He's proven that over his life. So we're just praying for him. But it's good to see him and get with them and continue to be inspired and learn from them, because the life they live is a life virtually anyone would want to live. And that's what we aspire to live, my wife and I, so we can, and in my case, do more of this. Not be so restricted because of my personal overhead, where my personal overhead's always got me distracted and I can't do creative things very much. So the goal with Bellevue Ballers is to create something that comes in, and then I don't have to always have my time, because I'm not trading. When you trade time for dollars, depending on where you are on that scale, in my case, it's pretty acute in the sense that I need to put in a good amount of hours to deal with my overhead, and more so than maybe the average person, I would say. And it takes away from my ability to do things that are, I would say, of bigger significance based on my God-given gifts than, say, delivering mail, which so many people are very happy to do, it appears, because if I start talking about business or whatever, they kind of shut down or withdraw or whatever. Whereas me, that's what I want to do. My dad was into politics. He liked politics. He liked ideas, and I'm very much like him. We're different, but I have a lot of the same interests. And so, yeah, this just getting up to alarm clock every day. You know, I think of it like this: how many people have their life planned out for them, and they're like a wind-up toy? And so they do I'm talking about people raising good families too, where they get their kids educated, maybe the good schools, they get the good job, but they're like a wind-up toy, and it's all predictable. Where's the excitement? Where are you impacting people? Where are you doing something above and beyond just basic punch a clock, live a life, die, no one ever knew you existed? See, that's not, it's just the idea of having a legacy and impact is something that is exciting to me for whatever reason. Again, my dad, his vision from 7 years old was to be president of the United States. That God gave him that vision. He was never able to fulfill it, but he never stopped talking about it up till the end of his life. And so he's passed that big picture idea mindset onto me. And so I keep on dreaming for sure. Good song. If you like that kind of stuff. I certainly do. Okay, so next is merch. Oh, good. So we got World Pizza. Shout out to them. Aaron over there. It's on one of my 5 routes. They're on King Street off 7th and King. They're not open too much. I mean, I'd love to have what kind of business is that? I don't know if he has another job. I don't know how he pays his bills. I mean, the guy's barely open. But he said he got his t-shirt at Pork Chop. I didn't check it out, but they're on Airport Way, and I need to check them out. Said he's able to sell the shirts for $12. He used to sell them for $20, but he's like, I just want the branding and the marketing. Why do I care if I make money off the actual shirt? I just want to get the name out there, which I was told to do. I need to get my name out there. Going back to quote of the day I heard from Tracy was, no one, you're going to have to go out and get it because no one's going to give it to you, right? I just have to say that. I'm going to be staying with that. You got to go get it. Maybe that's the next song. So that's exciting because that, I don't know. I had to talk to him. I never heard back from the other folks. I can't just walk up in their business. That's not good. So if I could walk up in Pork Chop now, we got rid of the masks. Praise the Lord. I'm always leery though, because they're going to bring it back. You take it away, you bring it back, yo, it just wears you out. And what I like about what this is it kind of puts on the record what's happening in the world. And okay, oh yeah, because it's easy to forget. We had that little period where we didn't have to wear masks for such a short period, and then we went back to it. Oh my goodness. So even the Seattle Public Schools are going away from it, but they're strongly encouraging the mask. Anyway, I don't have to get into that too much, but maybe at the end of this list. But anyway, I want to walk in a business like the good old days, and I'm amazed finding out how many people are pretending we're still in the era of the nightmare. And for them, they must kind of like it because they just keep participating in the nightmare even though they've been liberated. Can you imagine? That'd be like you hear about you have a bear or whatever in the zoo, and you just or the oh okay. The one example is the goldfish in the goldfish bowl swims around in the goldfish bowl, and they take the goldfish and they put them in the open water. All right, goldfish, you're not in the bowl anymore. You can go do what you want. They're so trained. Goldfish so trained to stay in that circle. That's all they do. But maybe some people are so trained to wear a mask, even though they're liberated, they still gonna wear it. Too bad. Not me. All right, so you will be glorified. All right, so where are we at with that? Went to my church, Faith Bible Church, today for the first time in a good while, but not exactly sure I'll be back regularly. But I didn't expect to even go today, but that was good. I didn't expect to even go today, but that was good. Had a conversation with someone yesterday about just ideas, brainstorming. That we didn't get anywhere with that. So I just gotta keep. I guess I will say, Natalie's, my daughter's piano teacher's up and running again. I think in April with personal piano lessons, which means I will be able to go visit her, I believe, and see her in person for the first time in 2 years. She was the composer of this. In 2 years, I got nowhere with this song without her help. I'm no further now than I was 2 years ago with this song. Wow, time goes so fast and so little gets done. It's good that I have lots of projects. But one thing that's been clear in my mind is the song has to be done the original way. I watched it back and no. And my friend who helped me make it, I guess he's on to another church now anyway. Probably better location for him is the East Sider. So that's all good. I'm just gonna keep going forward with whoever God puts in my life, and we'll just see how this can move forward. Songs from Back to the Rhymes, nothing to add there. Schoolhouse album sales. So I did mention, so here's the album. By the way, here's the shirt. Stay tuned for the updated, but that's the shirt. I had a conversation with somebody. She's helping me with my mind. She said kitty cats are good for us, especially if you know the 5 love languages. I'm a physical touch person. And yes, I miss having a kitty cat. So I said on July 4th, I'm gonna get the CD player out, and I had to look at the address. So the 700 block of 4th Avenue is the Columbia Center, and I go there a couple times a week to the food court, to the Starbucks. So I'm there. It's such a good place. And so anyway, I want to talk to their security and say, hey, and now across the street there's tents, tarps and tents, but I'm not going to necessarily go there. I'm more on the east side of 4th. So let's have a 4th of July concert. And I thought I could talk to John if he wants to join. Maybe Leon could be there. Anyone who wants to come. It's just going to be a CD player, instrumental, and me rapping. The goal would be, if I could pull off an hour, great. Like I said, if John comes along, he could help do a little bit. And then that's about what it would be if I could do an hour. I mean, I don't have an hour's worth of songs, but maybe I'd repeat them. I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably just do I'd say a half hour, about 5 songs probably. But then I'm rapping my stuff. That's the plan. And it's not, I don't expect anyone necessarily to be there, but I just got to go do it, and maybe someone will be there just to experience it. And then I'd record it on a phone and then post it on my YouTube channel. So that'd be good for content, I think. Because who knows? It might be interesting. So that's it with the list. Yeah, I did mention about the masks. and people what they're doing. I don't have much else to say. Sadly, my daughter's schools, they're just unbelievable. And she's hanging in there, but she only has a few more months. I expect where she goes to high school, this thing, they, she's at about, I mean, more restrictive than Seattle public schools. And here's why. This is worth saying. Here's why. So she goes to a private school, Lutheran school. And here's exactly why they're wearing masks in Seattle public schools not. Now, Seattle public schools is saying we strongly encourage you to wear a mask. Whereas her school, you got to wear the mask. Now, why would that be? Look how hard these teachers are dead tired at it. So her class has like 8 students. Already the workload is so much less for the teacher. So they can manage the students a lot easier. So there's any number of people. There's plenty of people are afraid in the public schools. I don't know exactly how this works, but how many of those kids are like messing around with their masks all the time? It's just one more thing the teachers have to bother with. Even though some were talking about not showing up, having student walkouts. I don't know. I would just think it's a big headache. It depends on how those kids are. I drove a school bus for kids from, we'll say, the hood or whatever, and they were pretty wild. They had a lot of energy. It's a lot of work and do what you want. So that's the difference. So it's just one less thing the teacher has to deal with. I mean, whatever else they have to deal with, they have to deal with that too, right? Or people are just not following it. I don't know. I'll get back to the run. So here we go. The song again, I just have to finesse it. I just have to finesse it, second guess it. The second that I won't be able to expect it to move much as such. I just have to finesse it, second guess it. The second that I won't be able to expect it to move much as such. I just have to finesse it, second guess it. The second that I won't be able to expect it to move much as such. I just have to finesse it, second guess it. The second that I won't be able to expect it to move much as such. I contemplate, I wait, debate my next move. At the same time, I'll try and find a way to get a breakthrough. Will I be well received? I wrote something wrong there. Or is you a bit peeved that I'm in your midst and I don't seem to get the gist? I just thought I could trust that we're of one accord, but I guess we wasn't. Just for the record, I just have to finesse it, second guess it. The second that I won't be able to expect it to move much as such. I just have to finesse it, second guess it. The second that I won't be able to expect it to move much as such. I just have to finesse it, second guess it. The second that I won't be able to expect it to move much as such. I just have to finesse it, second guess it. The second that I won't be able to expect it to move much as such. Okay, so I will put another verse on this. I did write down a chord. I could guess I spelled that right, just like the car. I know it's what it means. I've never written it. I've never really spoken it, but for my own education, let's look up a chord. I've never done it, so let's do that. A chord. All right. Okay, so OR. And think about accordion. So a chord is To cause, to conform or agree, bring into harmony. Exactly. To bring into harmony is accord. To grant, bestow upon, I accord you my blessing. Okay, so no, it's that. To bring into harmony of one accord. You know, you just hope, you just kind of, like I say, I'm a little more, I'm probably too relaxed. I feel like I should be relaxed. Maybe I can start with a verse like that. I'm just gonna throw it out. All right. Am I too relaxed with the brethren? As such, too much as such, I ask myself. Am I too? Of course, I would include sisters, but bro, man, brethren. Never even tried to spell that before. Oh man, sorry. Got to get this right. What would be the female version of the brethren? Never thought of it or heard of it. The brethren. But I'm just going to go with that. Yeah, look at that. Brethren. I'm more interested in the spelling because it looks weird on paper. I'll say that. Bread. Oh, brethren, plural of brother. B-R-E-T-H. Aha, I put an extra E. B-R-E-T-H-R-E-N. Brethren, not brethren. Oops. Brethren. Plural of brother. All right. I asked myself, am I too relaxed with the brethren? Did I try to take this? Did I try to take this where it never should have been? It appears to it appears to something your sensibilities. It appears to I'm thinking of the right one. It appears to interfere with your sensibilities. And could. I gotta stop. All right. I knew what I was going to say. I'll say it next week when I get back to the rhymes. Hope I remember.